Having said all of that, comparing this to BMC's other titles is like comparing something to the Republican healthcare bill. Everything is better than those atrocities. Getting a nice review out of me is like getting an intelligent comment out of Donald Trump. It's possible, sure, but odds are it's not going to happen. Okay, that's it. This is just fucking offensive. I'm about halfway through the game, and this is the 6th time I've had to rescue a woman from a man, and the 5th time I've had to save at least one girl from getting raped. I haven't come across a single woman who was used for anything other than sex in this game. Every single female character in the game is either a prostitute, a stripper, needs to be rescued from male assailants, or has sex with you on first sight. It's almost always some combination thereof, and every woman in the game is portrayed as being weak, helpless, reliant on men to save them from everything. The only exception to this in the entire game is a high-ranking gang member named Brandy, who's utterly incompetent and downright stupid in contrast to all the other elite gang members you face. Oh, and everybody except for the one underage girl character has jugs the size of watermelons to boot. The game portrays all women as sex objects, not people with emotions, thoughts, or brains, not even as general human beings. They're just prizes for the alpha male, things to stick a penis inside of, and it's downright disgusting!
Wow, they really like the game.
Well, it can't be worse than 9/11.
Okay. I don't know when the young teenage dipshit community of the internet decided that 9/11 was a meme. I don't know who decided that a terrorist attack that directly killed just south of 3,000 innocent people and led to open war in an already unstable region of the world for over a decade, resulting in a lot of good American soldiers being marched off to die, ultimately leading to the rise of ISIS and leading to the deaths and shattered lives of untold thousands of people. I don't know who thought that that was all one great big joke, but you are a disgraceful human being, and my foot is going to have angry sex with your ass! You assholes did nothing when Steam filled up with shit. Now there's no more room in hell. If BMC Studio gets a game onto the PS4, I swear I'm gonna lose it. And then I'm gonna review it. And then it's going to make my amazing Canadian immigrant girlfriend cry. One of the things that Taya and I loved to do when we went on dates was to go by a local GameStop and just peruse all the nerdy merchandise that they had. She liked to browse the nerdy shirts, look at the video games, and pick out potential review topics. In fact, I've got like a dozen new games in reserve for reviews because I have no manner of self-control. During one of our last dates, we came across this game, Space Camp on the Wii. Her eyes lit up because she loves everything involved with space travel, and my eyes lit up because this thing had more red flags than a completed Minesweeper board. I played the game back in October. I shelved the review till now due to writer's block, and then in January, she dumped me. I mean, we hadn't seen each other in 2 months, so it wasn't really a surprise. But hey, I sold some of the Christmas presents I got her at V-Stock and got Koenig's Command Shuttle. That's nice. I didn't have one of those in my Star Wars collection. enemies in the starting room, that makes a little orange Pokeball appear at the top of a shaft. You need 12 Pokeballs to finish the level. You fly forward and you run into a Thunderdome where you find the second Pokeball, turn right and you'll hit a room where you find the third Pokeball. You get a Heat Vision power-up and you stand on a switch and you use the Heat Vision to shoot the rightmost terminal sticking out of the ground. This unlocks the room directly behind you in the Thunderdome. You fly to the next room and then you go straight to find the fourth Pokeball. You head up a shaft that you passed on the way there and you go up another shaft where you find some health in the fifth Pokeball. You go back down the shaft and you operate the computer that now has text going across it and you'll unlock the room that goes back to the Thunderdome. You go back to the room where you found the Heat Vision and you blast the two remaining terminals to unlock the final room in the Thunderdome. You head back to the Thunderdome and then you turn right, then you go down the only hallway that isn't blocked off. You follow the hallway and you find a huge room with 4 shafts and 1 hallway leading off of it. You explore all of the shafts down the room itself until you find the next 3 Pokeballs. You also have to throw trash cans into 4 pillars of light for reasons that were never explained. After you find the Pokeballs, you operate another computer in a small hallway to activate a transporter pad. You go to the transporter pad and you find a room that looks identical to the one you just left, so you explore the new room and the vertical shafts leading off of it and you find 3 more Pokeballs. You activate another computer to activate another transporter pad that takes you to the room with Professor Hamilton where you find the last Pokeball!
First you gotta find a library card, then you gotta get back your lost communicator. You zap 2 guys, you find a diamond, you exchange it with the shop owner for a marked deck of cards, then you find a bone on the sidewalk and a gumball from some guy with a dog, then you find a hairpin and then you find a stick. You have to put the gumball on the end of the stick, put it in the gutter and fish out some coins. Then you talk to a bartender to get Oxmix's phone number. You give him the diamond in exchange for some plates. You take the plates to the police. Use the hairpin and the bone to open up a door, find the counterfeit money, use the coins on the phone booth, give the operator the number, go in to talk to Oxmix about the communicator. He tells you to go to Krako's place. He tells you that Bonehead Malone has a communicator. You go to the casino, you give Bonehead the money, you give him your marked deck of cards, and you get the communicator.
What were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
Batman Arkham City hit store shelves a few weeks ago, but since I don't have an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3, I have to wait a few more weeks for the PC version to come out. And even then, since I'm stuck at school, I probably won't be playing it until December. So since I can't play a good Batman game, I'm going to reminisce about a bad one. Batman Begins doesn't get a full review for 2 reasons. 1, because it's so unsubstantial, and 2, because this is another game that I had the good sense to rent rather than pay money to own.
Doubts about Arkham Asylum because it looked like a dark, gritty game with scary horror elements. And how can you have scary horror when you're Batman, ostensibly the most capable fictional character since Jesus? Ooh, edgy. And how can you have dark grittiness when you're Batman, a man who switches about in his underpants and a fabulous cape? Teeth!
It's time for another good idea, bad idea. Good idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first and only vehicle sequence in the whole game, and, well...
I feel like a bird. Oh, clip the wing! I'm sailing away! I'm the nun! I didn't do anything that time! Oh. Hello? Anyone? This doesn't seem possible, but it is. I'm really scared and confused right now. Alfred. Alfred. Hello?
And now we know why this is the only kind of vehicle section in this game.
Bad idea.
The next part of the game has you hang gliding to Ra's al Ghul's castle. Looks like a decent little minigame. Okay, if you try to go too high, you die. Makes sense. What in the hell did I just hit? Are you kidding me? That was going too high? Crap, I didn't even see that until I flew upwards and I was too late to dodge. Oh, finally, I'm almost through it. I can see a guard up ahead. I'm almost to the end. What? What just killed me? I didn't hit anything. How the hell did I just die? Stop doing that! Why are you doing this? Nothing is worth this torture. You already have enough material to complete your review. Why do you insist on prolonging your punishment? I'll tell you why, because I love Batman. Yeah, it sucks, but I have to keep going. I have to see what happens. I've invested too much time in this game to let it beat me now. Then how about I finish this level for you while you take a break? You might as well enjoy the rest of your conquest. Are you sure? You have no idea how bad this thing is. I have difficulty believing the controls are as bad as you say they are. Fine, you think you can do better? Here, good luck, little buddy. I have to calm down, I have to take a break. Just relax. I don't know what to say. I have nothing to say to that. Camco, did this seriously sound like a good idea? I mean, did you not have testers that told you that this level sucked? Did nobody tell you, hey, this hang gliding section part kind of stinks, maybe we should take it out? What the hell were you thinking? Between sluggish controls, updrafts that kill you out of nowhere, and obstacles that you either can't or can barely see, it took me something like 50 tries to get past this gliding section. I'm not even kidding. And get this, in the cutscene immediately before this level, Batman is flying towards Ra's al Ghul's castle in the Batwing, and he jumps out of the Batwing to do this gliding crap. Batman jumped out of a perfectly good airplane to do this. There is no reason why I have to do this gliding shit. And get this, a little later, Ra's al Ghul's henchmen find the crashed glider, and that's what
Look, ramps.
We can use these as ramps.
a ramp can be used as a ramp. Tails thinks that Sonic is so dumb, he needs to be told that a ramp can be used as a ramp. The game's credits list 5 programmers, 1 manager, 1 director, 2 producers, and several artists. Do you know who's not credited? A lead designer. Titus literally got 5 random programmers together and said, make a Superman game. It doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to make sense, it doesn't even have to be finished, just cobble together something with Superman in it so that we can make gobs of money. The game's credits also don't list any testers, which doesn't surprise me one bit, and it just goes to show that Titus didn't care about their consumers. They just wanted your money. That's why this game exists. Titus wanted your money and they knew people would pay through the nose for a Superman game. Why else would they plan a sequel? Yeah, I checked the Wikipedia entry on Titus Software and they were going to make a sequel to Superman 64. But the game was canceled 2 months into development. I guess it finally sunk in that people didn't fucking like their first Superman game and nobody was going to buy another one. Titus has said repeatedly that Superman 64 was not their fault. He said that Superman 64 was horrible because the Nintendo 64 wasn't capable of what they wanted to do and because Warner Brothers and DC kept meddling with the game until it got screwed into oblivion. I will always call bullshit on that excuse. The Nintendo 64 wasn't as powerful as they thought. That explains the draw distance. Warner Brothers kept meddling. That explains the glitches because they probably had to rush the game, and that explains the dumb story because they didn't want Superman punching real people. Neither of those things explain the rings. They don't explain why none of the levels make any sense. They don't explain why the controls are broken. They don't explain the sucky-ass combat. They don't explain why completing every single objective in that game is like pulling teeth. Titus, if anybody from your company is watching this, I want you to know why Superman 64 sucked. I've got your answer. It's because the game staff was nothing but 5 programmers and a few managers to make sure the thing got done in time. You didn't have any lead designer to rein in the programmers or give them direction, and you sure as hell didn't QA test, or if you did, you didn't credit the testers or fix any of the complaints. Superman 64 was horrible because you sucked at your job, and Exhibit A for that argument is sitting in my hands right now. This game is just awful. There's nothing fun about it. All the levels are short. Your objective in each level is find a few keys. The combat isn't fun because the hit detection is so abysmal. It's basically luck if you can actually kill enemies. The controls are crap. There's nothing enjoyable at all about this game. About the only nice thing I can say about this game is that it was not as horrible an experience as the Nintendo 64 game. And believe me, that's not saying very much.
In the second level of the game, you start fighting humanoid enemies called Interbots, robots with guns and shit that attack Superman en masse. I can't help but think of the Interbots as a scathing pot shot at Superman 64. Titus likes to whine to anyone that'll listen that Warner Brothers ruined that game with a ton of unreasonable demands, and the one they like to complain about the most is Superman not being allowed to punch real people. As if to call out Titus on their bullshit, Superman just says, "Oh hey, the goons are robots," and it moves on! That's all you need! It's not some insurmountable burden! And if you think I'm reading too much into this, to remind you that I reviewed Superman 64, consider this. If you enter the words pea soup into the cheat menu, it triggers what's called low resolution mode. It doesn't affect the graphics, but it adds thick green distance fog to all the levels. There is no way in hell that's not a Superman 64 reference. My amazing Canadian immigrant girlfriend dumped me.